Welcome to the Thursday afternoon meeting. To open the meeting, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good afternoon on this beautiful Thursday, March the 7th, 2019. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and we'll start with the agenda. Item number B, approval of regular session minutes of February 27th, 2019. Commissioners, you've had an opportunity to see those minutes and to review them. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Judy?
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Moved to item C, public participation. If there's anyone here that's from the public that would like to address the board, you are more than welcome to do so at this time. You can move to the podium and state your name and address, and we would await your comments. Seeing there is no one from the public that'd like to participate, I'll close that portion of the meeting, and we will move to item D for the consent agenda. Commissioners, the consent agenda was approved, and you were provided a draft copy of it, and you have it in final form here in front of you. Are there any items that need to be moved from the consent agenda so that they can be further discussed or talked about?
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda as prepared.
I will second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Judy, roll call.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. And I will move away from the agenda, and I understand that Pam Hovercloss is here today, and she would like to address the board, and we would like to hear her comments and let you participate. Thanks, Pam, for coming.
Pam Havercross, Clermont County Emergency Management Agency Director. I'm here today because yesterday the state legislature, or the House, was pushing forward House Bill 62, and in that bill there was an amendment to authorize the Board of County Commissioners to contract emergency management services with a county sheriff or a countywide fire department. And so I'm here just to let everyone know that I submitted a letter on behalf of emergency management and myself as the EMA director to oppose that amendment, not the House bill, but just the amendment to allow the county commissioners to contract with the county sheriff or a countywide fire department. And the reason being is that our role as an emergency management is to cultivate a network or system of partners in order to be able to prepare, prevent, respond to, recover from, and mitigate large-scale disasters. And our role really is to support all communities that may be affected so that we can ensure that not only the community can recover, but individuals and families recover. And if you were to move emergency management under a single discipline, it would make it very difficult to coordinate and partner with the plethora of agencies and organizations and disciplines that come into play in a large-scale event. And so that is what my letter outlines, and I can read the bulk of it. Is the role of emergency management is to cultivate a system of partners to prevent, prepare, respond to, recover, and mitigate large-scale disasters. To effectively support all jurisdictions, the emergency management agency needs to be independent of a single discipline. We must be able to coordinate resources amongst all public safety, government, private sector, faith-based, and nonprofit partners to ensure that all communities, individuals, and families are able to recover from the event. The county sheriff's office, local police departments, and local fire departments are critical members of the emergency management system. However, they have specific roles and responsibilities. They are the tactical response to every incident. When the incident exceeds the capabilities of a single discipline or jurisdiction, the local emergency management agency steps in to coordinate external support agencies and resources. The EMA also begins the coordination of recovery activities, including damage assessment, debris management, volunteers and donations, shelters, and assistance programs. To effectively fill this role, EMA must remain independent of a single response agency or discipline. So that's the bulk of the letter that I submitted. Ultimately, that amendment was removed from the House bill, and it passed committee and will be up for, I guess, adoption or on at the House. So I think that is being done today, right? Passing House Bill 62 without the amendment. So I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention, and I don't know if anyone has any questions.
When you sent me the draft of your letter, I forwarded it to both Mr. Green and Mr. Becker, our House of Representatives members, and I did get a text back from Mr. Green indicating that it had been removed from the bill, and I forwarded that to you. So I think what you did is extremely well done, and it is very important to leave EMA as an independent agency, not put it under any particular discipline that you work with. So, yep.
And I think that you saw from the fact that that amendment was removed that there were a lot of people, obviously, in the House that agreed with you.
Yeah.
I think specifically it was just about your letter that you sent.
I don't put that much stock in this letter.
I think it was your association that asked
Yes.
all the counties, EMA to.
So I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank
Thank you.
Before we move on with the agenda, I'll make one other left turn. I wanted to, commissioners, if you'll come up to the podium a minute. First of all, I wanted to tell you that the clerk of the board usually knows everything. In our particular case, she usually knows when things are prepared and we make presentations, when we have certificates of recognition and all those kinds of things. And she pretty much believes that, you know, she runs the entire operation and that she makes all these things happen. But today, that's not the case. You know, we were able to step out of line a little bit and work a little bit covertly. So Judy, if you'd come up here next to us a minute, we have a presentation we would like to make to you.
Notice that I'm taller. Get it, painter.
Judy Canseca has been here as of this week, working for this Board of County Commissioners for 40 years. And 40 years is quite an accomplishment as a county clerk, being that the county clerk is employed at the Willard Board. So you can imagine, I think your tenure started with Commissioner Besant, is that correct?
Byzance, Croswell, and Wiesenhunt.
It runs all the way through the present day today. So Judy, on behalf of this Board of Clermont County Commissioners, awarded to Judy Canseca, the Board of Clermont County Commissioners thanks you for your 40 years of service to the citizens of Clermont County. Your service spans from 1979, starting with Harold Bezant, through Robert Croswell, Martha Dorsey, to the present day of the Board of 2019. Your commitment, knowledge, and loyalty has been exemplary. The Board of County Commissioners, Clermont County, Ohio, this day in March 2019, signed by David L. Painter, President, Edwin H. Humphrey, Vice President, and Claire B. Corcoran, Member. Judy, on behalf of this Board, thank you for 40 years of service.
Thank you. We can still get it.
And how about taking a picture with us? Come on.
You can do everything.
Remember, Kathleen, neck up.
There were
Chin
two,
up,
there were,
chin
there
up.
were two people mentioned on that certificate, specifically dear and close to Judy, and that was Mr. Croswell and Martha Dorsey.
Correct.
So we made sure those were on there.
Thank
Judy, you got a smile for this.
Okay, that's great.
Move in, Claire.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and one more. Okay, great.
There you go.
Just hit hold you out.
Now you gotta go back to work.
Thanks, Judy.
40 years.
We're
We're going to have refreshments at the end.
All right. We have finished with the consent agenda, and we will go to the non-consent agenda. That starts on page 5 with item number 8. Lyle, thanks for waiting on us. Sorry about that.
Yeah, wasn't sure when to.
Thanks, Lyle.
That's okay.
I'm Lyle Bloom, Director with the Clermont County Water Resources Department, and item number 8 is a recommendation to award the bid relative to the Taylor Avenue Water Petition Project located in Stone Lake Township pursuant to the plans and specifications to Smith Corp. Incorporated out of Cincinnati, Ohio, for their lowest and best bid received on January 17th, 2019 at the item prices as outlined therein for a total amount not to exceed $53,536, and to execute the contract relative thereto pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and award of bid therefore, and contingent upon the release of the required purchase order. And this is for the construction of about 611 feet of 8-inch water main to serve 8 property owners that petitioned the county. Not all 8 petitioned, but it will benefit 8 property owners. The low bid is about 86% of our engineer's estimate.
You've heard the reading of item number 8. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
It's been moved and second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item 9.
Item 9 is a recommendation to execute an amendment to the contract for professional services between the Board of County Commissioners and LJB Incorporated out of Miamisburg, Ohio. This was previously ratified by the board on December 12, 2018 for the provision of additional engineering services as outlined therein, and this is relative to the Miamiville area water main replacement project located in Miami Township, with no change in the original contract amount of $88,269 or contract effective dates, therefore, with all other terms and conditions of the reference contract for professional services to remain in full force and effect. So what this change does is adding the ability for them to use a drone to do a portion of the survey work, and then as part of that, they're required to have additional special insurance. So they at least have to have a $1 million special liability insurance policy for that, which they do have.
You've heard the reading of item number 9. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and second. Any further conversations or discussions? Lyle, on the drone footage, what do you actually get with that? What's their...
They're going to be able to get its aerial photography, and then they could use that to supplement their survey data as well. So
Okay.
it's new technology. I think this is the first project where we've seen it used, but technology changes every day. So.
Surveying from the sky.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one sure thing they say about, data and technology today. It'll never be slower than it was today.
Right.
Tomorrow it'll change. All right. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item 10.
Item number 10 is a recommendation of Andy Kuka, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Suki Sheets, Assistant County Administrator, to award the bid for project number 2017-03 relative to the Wayne Township Community Center Phase 3 project. This is in concert with the Clermont County Community Development Block Grant Program for the year of 2017. Pursuant to the plans and specifications, the awards to Kramer and Feldman, Inc., located at 7636 Projection Drive, Cincinnati. It's the lowest and best base bid. Say that 3 times fast. Received therefore on 12/13/2018 in the total amount of $277,199, and to execute the contract relative thereto with said service is to commence on or before a date to be specified in written notice to proceed from the Department of Community and Economic Development, and to be completed by December 31st, 2019, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein, and contingent upon the release of the purchase order.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 10 concerning the Wayne Township Community Center base of Phase 3 project. Are there any further, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
A second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Sherry, while you're here, the Phase 3 portion of the project, is that internal finish? Is
It's
that?
just interior finish, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judy, roll call.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Thank you. Item 11.
I wait.
Different and exciting.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
I-
you. I think you've been here 39, haven't you?
I only look like I've been there as long as you. Okay. Number 11 is a recommendation from myself with the concurrence of Mr. Thomas J. Uglo, County Administrator, to execute a contract for minor public improvement projects by and between the Board of County Commissioners, Clermont County, with Buckeye Power Sales, Commerce Court, Black Lick, Ohio, for the purchase and installation of a full-service generator for the Clermont County Family Support Center, 2400 Clermont Center Drive here in Batavia, in accordance with the scope of services identified in Exhibit A, attached thereto and made a part thereof, in an amount not to exceed $226,596, with said services to be completed within 180 days subsequent to the company's receipt of a signed contract and notice to proceed from the Clermont County Facilities Management Department pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and contingent upon the release of a purchase order required, therefore in concert with requisition 2456 dated 3/1/2019. This is our second largest building next to the adult detention. It was determined last summer that this building was one of our next priorities to have backup generation, so here we are. We were anticipating being able to do the crossover with the power up for the record center, but this will be slightly delayed because of material. We're ready to fire up the record center as soon as we get a legal notification from downstairs for Duke Energy, and then that building is right now, as of today, 86% complete.
Okay. You've heard the reading of item number 11 for the installation of a full-service generator for the Clermont County Family Support Center. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Wade, the generator that we're putting in full service for the whole
Full service.
building, automatic crossover?
Yep, automatic crossover. There will be redundancy. We have two current partial generators up there now, one for the nursing division for their inoculations and serums, and one for the telephone systems. Those will back up this full-service generator.
Okay,
Dual transfer switches on both.
okay. This will have exercising capability in the whole?
Every
thing?
week, we'll test it according to our schedule.
All righty. Any further conversations or discussions? Judy, roll call.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Item 12.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
It's the recommendation of myself, Director of the Clermont Transportation Connection, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to adopt resolution number 2319, resolving to authorize David L. Painter, President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the grant contract 67 SUPT 19100 by and between the Clermont County Board of Commissioners and the State of Ohio Department of Transportation, 1980 West Broad Street, Columbus, Ohio, for the state fiscal year 2019 urban transit program for the provision of public transit service within Clermont County urbanized area, and the amount of $69,638 to help purchase replacement vehicles less than 30 feet, with the ALI of 111204 for the time period between the 1st of this year and May 1st of next year, pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein in compliance with the Ohio Department of Transportation 2019 Urban Transit System Allocation. Therefore, and in concert with the grant application and standard state assurances ratified by the Board of County Commissioners on September 26, 2018. So what this is for is to help us purchase some replacement vehicles. We have some buses that are about 10 years old and the useful life of them is 7. They're rusting down the sides. They're ready to go.
And they got lots of miles.
They got lots of miles on them. Usually the match for these vehicles for the feds is 20%. What this state money is going to help me do is cut the amount of local money that we need to give towards it.
You've heard the reading of item number 12. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item number 12.
13.
13.
Oh, 13, I'm sorry.
So it's the recommendation of myself, the Director of Clermont Transportation Connection, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to authorize payment in the amount of $1,283 to Unified Carrier Registration Plan in Idaho Falls, Idaho, which represents the 2019 Unified Carrier Registration fee required for the operation of interstate transportation services for 2019.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 13. Do I have a motion for approval?
Make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion?
This allows us to go into Kentucky to get to Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Item number 14.
Good afternoon, Jeremy Evans with the Clermont County Engineers Office. Item 14 is a recommendation to execute record plat number 629-3125 for the following subdivision located within Batavia Township, and further to execute the performance and maintenance bond, as well as a performance bond for sidewalks as surety for same relative to the construction of the below listed streets. These are Indigo Court and Windsong Court and Twin Gates Subdivision Section 6, Batavia Township. It's a $46,000 performance bond, $10,000 maintenance, and performance bond for sidewalks in the amount of $51,320.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 14. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Judy, roll call.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item 15.
Item 15 is a recommendation to execute record plat number 629-3126 for the replat of lot number 474 and lot number 545 in the following subdivision located within Miami Township. This is the Woods at Miami Trail subdivision, replat of lot number 474 in Block F, Section 6, Part 3, and lot number 545 in Section 12. This would create a new lot number 474A.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 15. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item 16.
Item 16 is a recommendation to execute record plat number 629-3127 for replat of a lot in the following subdivision located in Union Township. This is the Thomas and Mamie Klepper subdivision number 4. It's a replat of lot number 20. Purpose is to create a standard highway easement and temporary highway easement for the old 74 project.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 16. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Thanks, Jeremy. Item number 17.
The board is in receipt of an application from Jerry Yates, residing at 3642 Highland Green, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45245. His request is to fill the unexpired term of Nick Baker, who resigned therefrom on 11/20/2018. His term of office will be effective today, March 7th, 2019, through September 1st, 2021. And this is to serve on the Board of Trustees of the Clermont County Convention and Visitors Bureau, which addresses the hotelier.
He represents a hotelier, yes.
He does. Board, you've heard the reading of item number 17. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item number 18.
The board is in receipt of an application from Patty Lawrence, who resides at 6758 Little River Lane, Loveland, Ohio, to serve on the Clermont County Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board for the term commencing this date, March 7th, 2019, through May 31st, 2019, to fill the unexpired term of Angela R. Leggett, pursuant to and in compliance with Section 340.02 of the Ohio Revised Code, and on the recommendation of Karen Shearer, the Executive Director.
Board, you've heard the reading of number 18. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item number 19.
On the recommendation of Suki Sheets, the Assistant County Administrator, she's recommending the appointment of Mary Kay Rains to serve as the prevailing wage coordinator for Clermont County relative to public improvements administered by various offices and departments, including but not limited to the Clermont County Engineer, the Clermont County Water Resources Department, Clermont County Department of Community and Economic Development, the Clermont County Facilities Management Department, and the Board of County Commissioners pursuant to and in compliance with Chapter 4115 of the Ohio Revised Code. And this just brings Mary back full circle from when she started 40 years ago.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 19. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Since Mary is here today, Mary, this is okay with you, right? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Item number 20.
We have a training and travel request for reimbursement of expenses for Commissioner Claire B. Corcoran to travel one day to Lebanon, Ohio, to attend the Ohio Attorney General 2019 Sunshine Laws Certified Training. Total expenses not to exceed $2320.
You've heard the reading of item number 20. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
It's been moved, and I'll provide a second. It's been moved and seconded. Judy, roll call.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Abstain.
Item number 21.
Board of County Commissioners has before it a personnel action for Rebecca Gropey, is it?
Groppe.
Groppe, sorry. I have to put that highlight on there. To be employed as Commissioner Claire B. Corcoran's aide, effective March 25th, 2018.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 21. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second. Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Abstain.
Item 22.
Item 22, and you have the full document before you, is a recommendation of Terry Brandenburg, the Human Resources Coordinator, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to resolve to affirm the preparation and processing of record-only personnel actions for all eligible employees under the jurisdiction of the Board of County Commissioners to reflect the salary wage increases based on merit performance evaluations and calculations as prepared for the evaluation period of 1/1/2018 through 12/31/2018, and upon the discovery of mathematical errors in a number of the calculations therefore, to direct all departments under the jurisdiction of the Board of County Commissioners to prepare the munis entries accordingly in and as it relates thereto, with the respective increases as outlined in the revised matrices attached thereto and made a part thereof, and to become effective as of 12/17/2018. There were a number of calculations that were found to be a penny differentiation, totaling a difference in the total amount from that which was ratified last Wednesday by the Board of County Commissioners of $20.80.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 22. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Thanks for finding it.
Thank
There's
you.
You bet. Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. That concludes the agenda as written. I understand we have some add-ons to the agenda. Is that correct?
A number of them, and do you wish to address those now or after executive session? Do you want to do them all simultaneously, or do you want to do them part and parcel?
We'll do them one at a time, if that's okay with you.
Sure, absolutely.
I understand we have, what, Judy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Right,
Is that correct?
right.
Board, you've heard that there are add-ons to be added to our regular agenda. I would entertain a motion for approval to add these 5 items to the current agenda.
I'll make that motion.
So, second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Any particular order? I'll pick them. Okay.
Actually, it's, they should be in sequential order from the lowest to the greatest acreage. And facilitate things by just indicating that on Tuesday, March 5th, Michael Manier, attorney at law in Milford, for and on behalf of Susan M. Ellerhurst, Williamsburg Township, as the designated agent for the petitioners, and, I'm sorry, Village of Williamsburg, in Williamsburg Township, the designated agent for the petitioners, 5 annexation petitions were filed under section 70902. They are acreage of 0.4591, 0.9411, 1.0847, 3.7146, and 3.9958 acres. All of them in the village, all of them in Williamsburg Township, to the Village of Williamsburg. In speaking with the assistant prosecuting attorney about the volume and the time frame in which the board has to act, it's a 30-day window from the 60th to the 90th day after the date of filing. I have looked at the calendar and selected Wednesday, May 29th at 11 a.m. All of them will be set at 11 a.m. as opposed to 30 or 60 minutes apart in order to facilitate the expeditiousness of this. And notification will go to the agent for the petitioner and the attorney for the agent. This date stating this information pursuant to and in compliance with resolution number 2103 adopted by the Board of County Commissioners on February 25th, 2003.
Okay.
And you can do all, you can do independently alternating.
We'll do them very
second,
quickly.
however you want to
just
do them.
one at a time.
Okay.
I'll start with the .4591
Okay.
acres. Recommendation to acknowledge the filing of petition for annexation of .4591 acres from Williamsburg Township, Clermont County, Ohio, to the Village of Williamsburg, Clermont County, filed in the office of the Board of Commissioners at 10:41 a.m. on Tuesday, March 5th, 2019, by Michael Manier, attorney at law, 626 Main Street, Milford, Ohio, 45105, for and on behalf of Susan M. Ellerhorst, 107 West Main Street, Williamsburg, Ohio, 45176, as a designated agent for the petitioners, and compromising all the parcel identification number 5244441.007, in compliance with section 709.02 of the Ohio Revised Code, pursuant to resolution 21-03 adopted by the Board of County Commissioners on 2/25/03. Notification of time, date, and place of the public hearing was sent to the agent for the petitioners on Thursday, March 7th, 2019, via regular U.S. mail, designating Wednesday, May 29th, 2019, at 11 a.m. local time in the office of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, 3rd floor, Batavia, Ohio, 45103, as the date, time, and place for the aforementioned stated hearing thereon. You've heard the reading of the petition for .4591 acres from Williamsburg Township to Clermont County, Ohio, to the Village of Williamsburg. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. The next one is a recommendation to acknowledge the filing of a petition for annexation of .9411 acres from Williamsburg Township, Clermont County, Ohio, to the Village of Williamsburg, Clermont County, Ohio, filed in the office of the Board of Commissioners at 10:47 a.m. on Tuesday, March 5th by Michael Manier, attorney at law, 626 Main Street, Milford, Ohio, 45150, for and on behalf of Susan M. Ellerhorst, 107 West Main Street, Williamsburg, Ohio, 45176, as a designated agent for the petitioners and comprising all of partial identification number 52350-4E044, in compliance with section 70902 of the Ohio Revised Code, pursuant to resolution 21-03 adopted by the Clermont County Board of Commissioners on 2/5. This one says on 022503, notification of the time, date, and place of public hearing for the agent on March 7th, 2019 via regular U.S. mail designating Wednesday, May 29th at 11 a.m. local time in the office of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners here at 101 East Main Street, 3rd floor, Batavia, Ohio, 45103, as the date, time, and place for the aforementioned hearing thereon. You've heard the reading of the annexation for .9411 acres. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. The next one is a recommendation to acknowledge the filing of petition for annexation of 1.0847 acres from Williamsburg Township, Clermont County, Ohio, to the Village of Williamsburg, Clermont County, Ohio, filed in the office of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners at 10:22 a.m. on Tuesday, March 5th by Michael Manier, attorney at law, 626 Main Street, Milford, Ohio, on and behalf of Susan M. Ellerhorst, 107 Main Street, Williamsburg, Ohio, 45176, as the designated agent for the petitioners and comprising all the parcel identification numbers 523509 C099.0, 523509 C100, 523509 C101, and 523509 C097, in compliance with Section 70902 of the Ohio Revised Code, pursuant to Resolution Number 21-03, adopted by the Board of County Engineers, County Commissioners, on 2503, notification of the time and date and place of the public hearing was sent to the agent for the petitioners on Thursday, March 7, 2019, via regular U.S. mail, designating Wednesday, May 29th at 11 a.m. The office of the Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street on the 3rd floor, Batavia, Ohio, 45103, as the date, time, and place for the aforestated hearing thereon. You've heard the reading of the annexation of 1.0847 acres. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes, and recommendation for acknowledge of the filing of a petition for 3.7146 acres from Williamsburg Township, Clermont County, Ohio, to the Village of Williamsburg, Clermont County, Ohio, filed in the office of Clermont County Commissioners at 10:29 a.m. on Tuesday, March 5th by Michael Manier, attorney at law, 626 Main Street, Milford, Ohio, for and on behalf of Susan M. Ellerhorst, 107 Main Street, Williamsburg, Ohio, 45176, as a designated agent for the petitioners and comprising all of partial identification number 523504 E068 and 523404 E069, in compliance with Section 709.02 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pursuant to Resolution Number 21-03, adopted by the County Commissioners on 2/25/03, notification of the time, date, and place of the public hearing was sent to the agent for the petitioners on Thursday, March 7th, via regular U.S. mail designating Wednesday, May 29th at 11 a.m. local time in the office of the Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia, Ohio, as the date, time, and place for the aforementioned hearing thereon. You've heard the reading for the annexation of 3.7 acres. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? And the last one we have in front of us is a recommendation for the acknowledgement of petition for
I was going to take the vote, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You got a little air.
I got a little quick. It's been moved and seconded for the 3.7146 acres. Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Now we're at the last one.
Well, the last of this.
Recommendation to acknowledge the filing of a petition for annexation of 3.9958 acres from Williamsburg Township, Clermont County, Ohio, to the Village of Williamsburg, Clermont County, filed in the office of the Board of Commissioners at 10:36 a.m. on Tuesday, March 5th, 2019 by Michael Manier, attorney at law, 626 Main Street, Milford, Ohio, for and on behalf of Susan M. Ellerhorst, 107 Main Street, Williamsburg, Ohio, as the designated agent for the petitioners and comprising all of the parcel identification numbers 523509 H017A and 523-509 H017B in compliance with Section 709.02 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pursuant to Resolution Number 21-03 adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, 22503, notification of the date, time, and place of the public hearing was sent to the agent for the petitioners on Thursday, March 7th, 2019 via regular U.S. mail, designating Wednesday, May 29th at 11 a.m. local time in the office of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia, Ohio, as the date, time, and place for the aforementioned stated hearing thereon. You've heard the reading of the petition for annexation for 3.9 acres from Williamsburg Township to the Village of Williamsburg. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Any further business before we move on the agenda?
Eagle Eye, Director of OMB, noticed that on our personnel action for the employment of Commissioner Corcoran's aide, that the effective date and month were correct, but the year said 2018. And so we would like to correct that record right there, or bring it to your attention and correct it accordingly as a clerical error.
Okay, what we will do very quickly there is,
I'll make a motion that we make that correction and do the personnel action effective 3/25/2019.
we've had a motion for a correction of the agenda.
Yes, and I would say that you're seconding it.
Second.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Abstain.
Thank you.
So the date is hereby corrected for the employment of Rebecca, it's Crappie, for Commissioner's aide, and the date that was previously listed was 3/25/2018, and that new effective date is 3/25/2019. Okay? Anything else before we move on the agenda? I understand we do need an executive session today.
You do?
All right. Item number F, executive session pursuant to Section 121.22, G1 and G3 of the Ohio Revised Code to, first, consider the employment, dismissal, discipline, demotion, or compensation of one or more public employees, and two, to confer with the prosecuting attorney regarding pending or imminent litigation, respectively. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Judy, roll call.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. We have moved into executive session. We will return and conduct business. We are back from executive session. There were no decisions made. We will resume session with the agenda. I understand there are two additional add-ons that need to be added to the agenda today. Is that correct, Judy?
There are two settlements, I believe, that prosecuting attorney assistant Jason Fountain's going to handle, and then my understanding is you may or may have a personnel issue to deal with.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have a prepared for a personnel issue? We do?
Terry is here, and I think she's going to do it from the podium,
Okay.
but she's provided the information to Connie if you decide to proceed.
Okay, there are three add-ons that we'd like to add to the agenda. One is for a general settlement here, which will be a recommendation of Jason. And the second is also a settlement agreement and release of claims, and then there will also be a personnel action. I'd like to add these three to the agenda. Could I get a motion to add them to the agenda, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any conversation or discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. Jason, we will start with you, please. Thank you.
So you said we have two recommendations for settlement of claims. The first is a recommendation of the prosecutor with concurrence of Mr. Eigel, county administrator, to execute a settlement and general mutual release agreement by and between Clermont County, Ohio, and American Contractors Indemnity Company, a surety we're working with, and to accept the sum from them of $45,000 as full and final settlement of claims as set forth and described in the settlement and general mutual release agreement and pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein, as it relates to a public improvement construction contract, which is number 2014-04, and is relative to the Village of Felicity Walnut Street Reconstruction Project in concert with Clermont County Community Development Allocation Program, which is CDBG, fiscal year 2014.
Board, you've heard the reading of the add-on recommendation for settlement and general mutual release agreement. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mr. Painter.
Yes.
Thank you. The second recommendation of the prosecutor, with concurrence again of Mr. Igoe, County Administrator, is to execute, for the board to execute a settlement agreement and release of claims by and between Clermont County, Ohio, and Choice One Engineering, and to accept the sum from them of $15,000 as full and final settlement of claims as set forth in the settlement agreement and release of claims pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein. And as it relates to a public improvement construction contract, the same public improvement construction contract, 2014-04, relative to the Village of Felicity Walnut Street Reconstruction Project in concert with Clermont County CDBG for the fiscal year of 2014.
Board, you've heard the reading of the settlement agreement and release between Clermont County and Choice One Engineering. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Painter.
Yes. Thank you, Jason. Good job. Terry, good afternoon.
So we do have two personnel actions. It's for the same employee. So the first one is for Kelly Preble with Clermont Transportation Connection. This is an action for her return from administrative leave, non-disciplinary with pay. That would be effective at the close of business today, March 7th, 2019. Okay, and
Go ahead.
okay, the second one would be also for Kelly Preble, Clermont Transportation Connection. This is for suspension, disciplinary without pay for 3 days. Those dates would be March 8th, 2019, March 11th, 2019, and March 12th, 2019.
So, Board, you've heard the reading of both motions there. The first motion is for the termination of administrative leave with pay. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mr. Painter.
Yes. And the reading for the second motion is to provide disciplinary action in the form of time off.
Right, suspension without pay for 3 days.
Okay, you've heard the reading of that motion. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further conversation or discussion?
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Painter.
Abstain.
That it?
I am going to ask that previous motion that was for the cancellation of the disciplinary action for Kelly Preble, Terry, if you'd come back up, to be brought back up on the table
Want to revote?
to revoke that motion, yes. I'd like a motion for that approval.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Roll call.
What's the question? We're going to vote to rescind our decision?
Yes, we're
Okay.
voting to rescind that decision, to cancel the disciplinary action.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mr. Painter.
I will abstain. And now I'll bring it right back to the table to
Okay.
consider it again for the cancellation of that disciplinary action.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mr. Painter.
Abstain. Anything further to come before the board?
No, sir.
Thank you. If there's nothing further to come before the board, I now declare this meeting complete. Thank you for coming today to the regular session of March the 7th, 2019. And we look forward to you watching and participating at our next date
On Monday
on Monday.
at 1 p.m.
You bet. Thank you very much for coming.